The voice of God calls us to awaken in him. How will he find us when he comes? Awake and ready. And when he asks us to dedicate ourselves and our lives more perfectly to him, how will he find us? Awake and ready. Let's pray. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, great masters of self-realization, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, beloved Master Paramhansa Yogananda, saints of all religions, humbly we bow before you. Thank you for your presence in our lives. Be with us in every moment, every minute, every hour, every day. Sing through us, work through us, play through us, love through us. Make us aware of your presence. Help us to see you behind every cloud, behind every ray of sunlight, in the songs of the birds, in our heartbreaks and in our joys. We are yours. Come to us. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Dhuti, and with me at the church in Rhode Island is Ines. And I'm in Ananda, CZ. And we will start, I will start with some music. So sit down if you're not already seated. And I have my friend Ananda here, who has the voice of an angel, and we are going to sing this lovely song of Swami Kriyananda's.
Open these channels that the world once more may see. Tree standing firm, oh, the secret of inner power. Give us when tested strength to endure. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may see. Stars send a message of light through eternity. Lord, when in darkness your radiance we see. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may see. Flowers so soft and fragile, stay fragrant though pressed to the ground. May we thus learn forbearance, for in kindness love is found. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may see. remote and still, hinted higher words unseen. So may our lives be soaring and serene. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may see. Rivers seek passage unhindered by rock or tree. So may our lives flow steadfast toward the sea. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may sing. Mother, we thank you, your joy shines in everything. Open these channels that the world once more may see.
Thank you. Okay. Now we will prepare for meditation with a couple of chants. This first chant is words that Swami put to music, words of Yogananda's. And the words are kind of lengthy, so I invite you to sing in the chorus, which is simply God, God, God. From the depths of slumber as I ascend the spiral stairway of wakefulness, I will whisper, whisper, God, God, God. Thou art the food, and when I break my fast of nightly separation from thee, I will taste thee and mentally say, God, God, God. No matter where I go, the spotlight with my mind will ever be turning on me. And in the battlefield of activity, my silent hope will be God, God, God. When boisterous storms of trial shriek, and when war is hard on me, I will drown their noises, loudly chanting, God, God, God. When my mind weaves dreams, dreams, with threads of memories, on that magic cloth will I emboss God, God, God. Every night in time of deepest sleep, when my peace dreams and calls, joy, joy, my joy comes singing evermore. God, God, God. In waking, working, dreaming, sleeping, sighing, meditating, chanting, divine melody, my soul will constantly Now sitting up straight, shoulders back, chin parallel to the floor. We'll take this next chant into meditation. I have made thee pole star of my life. Though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. Oh, my sea is dark and my stars are born. Oh, my sea is dark and my stars are born. Still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. Though my sea is dark and my stars are born. Though my sea is dark and my stars are born. Still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. Oh, my sea is dark and my stars are born. Oh, my sea is dark and my stars are born. Still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. Oh, my sea is dark and my stars are born. Oh, my sea is dark and my stars are born. Still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. We'll meditate for 5 minutes. Dive deep into your awakened love and devotion. Allow it to fill your heart, expand your heart, fill your body, and draw it upwards to the spiritual eye. Do whatever meditation practices that help you to focus and take advantage of these few moments of silence.
remaining in this inward state, in the silence of meditation. Listen to affirmations for self-healing by Swami Kriyananda. This week's affirmation is self-expansion. Self-expansion is the essence of all aspiration. Why do we seek to possess things? Because by acquisition, we imagine we'll expand our dominion. Why do we seek to learn more? Because we think by enlarging our knowledge to expand our understanding. And why do we seek ever new experiences? Because we believe that through them, we'll expand our awareness. When you stretch a lump of dough outward, it becomes not only broader, but thinner. Such often is the case when we stretch the mind only outwardly. Reaching out too far, we sacrifice depth in our lives. The self-expansion toward which all life aspires is of the spirit, an expansion of sympathy, of love, of the awareness that comes from sensing God's presence everywhere. Affirming in a loud voice, commanding the attention of the conscious mind. I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the flight of birds, in the raging wind upon the mountains, in the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze. Renouncing my little egoic self, I expand with my great soul self everywhere. Now in a more conversational tone, I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the flight of birds, in the raging wind upon the mountains, in the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze. Renouncing my little egoic self, I expand with my great soul self everywhere. Now more quietly, in a whisper, taking it into the subconscious. I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the flight of birds, in the raging wind upon the mountains, in the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze. Renouncing my little egoic self, I expand with my great soul self everywhere. Now in silence, taking it even deeper into the subconscious. I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the flight of birds, in the raging wind upon the mountains, in the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze. Renouncing my little egoic self, I expand with my great soul self everywhere. Now with rising aspiration, bringing it up to the point between the eyebrows, taking it into the superconscious mind. In deep silence, I feel myself in the flowing brooks, in the mountain flight of birds, in the raging wind upon the mountains, in the gentle dance of flowers in a breeze. Renouncing my little egoic self, I expand with my great soul self everywhere. Prayer. Beloved Spirit in all that is, help me in my own nothingness to find myself one with all that is.
Today's reading is from Rays of the One Light, Weekly Commentaries on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita by Swami Ananda. This is week 32. Does God hide the truth? Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. In last week's reading, we saw that the great masters themselves counsel discretion in the dissemination of truth. The counter-argument is sometimes made, but the Lord doesn't hide. He reveals his beauty in the sunsets, his tender sympathy in the rain, his wrath in the thunder, his restless energy in the brooks, his power in the sunlight. There are exoteric truths, and there are also esoteric truths. There is that which is revealed impersonally and left up to us to interpret, such as the thunder, and our perception of it as divine wrath, the rain, and our perception of it as God's sympathy. But behind even God's most open expressions, there lies impenetrable mystery. The wind blows where it wills, said Jesus in chapter 3 of the Gospel of St. John. You hear the sound of it, but you do not know where it comes from or where it is going. So is everyone who is born of the Spirit. And Sri Krishna says in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, by me, the whole vast universe of things is spread abroad. By me, the unmanifest. In me are all existences contained, not I in them. God's hidden reality cannot be understood by the reasoning faculty. India's Shankya philosophy states frankly, Ishwar Ashada. God is not provable. A willingness to seek the underlying reality behind appearances is essential for those who would know God. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om, Om, Om.
Good morning again, everyone. Happy to be here with you. So I thought I'd start with a couple of jokes. You know, Swami said that it's nice to start with jokes because it opens people's hearts and makes them more receptive. But I have a fondness for these particular jokes because our dear beloved Om Prakash, he runs the market now, you know, at the village, and every week with his produce order, he sends, he includes some, just move this a little bit. He includes some jokes, and actually they're more like puns, but he's a punny guy, isn't he? So, okay. I stayed up all night to see where the sun went, and then it dawned on me. You have to have a pause there for a second to get these. Police were summoned to a daycare center where a 3-year-old was resisting arrest. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. I just can't put it down. Okay, I could go on, but I think we should move now to the Whispers from Eternity reading, change the mood a little bit. Okay, this reading is number 112, Demand for Union with the Almighty. O Father, behold me through the pores of the sky. Smile at me through the twinkling stars. Strengthen me through the sun. Calm my feelings through the moon. Caress me through the breeze. Love me through my love. Throb in me through my heart. Breathe thine immortality through this mortal frame of mine. Speak through my voice. Help others through my hands. Use my mind to inspire them. Breathe through my breath. For within this fragile viol, thou alone canst sing thy complete eternal song. Every poem in this book it astounds me, Master's command of the English language. It's quite amazing, beautiful, and poetic, and still so deep and true and inspiring. So that quote at the very end of the reading from the Bhagavad Gita, a willingness to seek the underlying reality behind appearances is essential for those who would know God. And I think of John Muir, for instance, because he would go up into the mountains, and that was his temple, and that's where he saw God and he felt God's presence. It was unseen. You couldn't necessarily see it, but he felt it. And so in this topic, does God hide the truth? Well, no, he doesn't. He just makes it a little challenging for us to see behind the false pretenses of this life. And for instance, when horrible things happen to people, and it's certainly a very challenging time for many people, and you wonder why. Why did that person have to die, or why did that person have to have that horrible karma, or whatever? We just don't know. And so we have to trust. We have to trust that God knows all. Divine Mother is like, it's like a mother or a parent, not scolding their child, but directing and guiding their child. And sometimes it's not very pleasant, but the parent does that for the child's own good. And so Divine Mother is like that too. And we may not know why our karma comes to us, but it's ours. And there's a beautiful quote of Ramana Maharshi: "Whatever is destined not to happen will not happen, try as you may. Whatever is destined to happen will happen, do what you may to prevent it. This is certain. The best course, therefore, is to remain silent." And I love that. It's like, stop your whining and complaining. That's what I say to myself when I'm dealing with something. Because really, we have no way of knowing why these things happen. And in the sense, you could say that's why it's a mystery of life, and why God hides the truth. But if we dive deep and into meditation and develop our intuition, we will find the answers, and or we won't. But the best course of action then is to remain silent, and not question it. So I'm pretty lucky here to be in Assisi and to experience 2 Sunday services every Sunday, and so I have to say, I'm going to borrow very heavily from, I had a number of things I wanted to say, but today in Ananda Assisi, Jayadev gave a wonderful talk, and so I am going to borrow some points from his talk with his permission. And so first of all, God is like an eye doctor, right? He's invented these magic glasses. And when we put the glasses on, we see a wonderful, joyful life. It's so much fun, and we don't really realize that we're wearing these glasses. Life is beautiful, and we like seeing the fun things, and we see things through that movie screen, you might say. You know that passage at the very beginning of Whispers? It's one of my favorites, where Master is talking about life is a dream, but life is like a movie. And he's saying, we're looking at this screen in front of us with these, wonderful glasses. and we're caught up in it. We're caught in the drama and the sadness and the joy and the excitement. And we don't realize that if we just but turned around and looked up at the screen behind us, it's just light. It's just light playing on the screen in front of us, on the screen of our lives. So that's kind of what these glasses are like. And we put on the blue glasses, and we see the wonderful adventure and the joy of having a good job and a house, and then the color changes, and now we're looking through the green glasses, and it's a whole nother drama. I couldn't resist when Jayadev, if you can imagine, and Jayadev is a very playful, joyful soul, a very deep soul. He started the Ananda Yoga Academy here in Europe, and he has trained thousands of yoga students, and he just has a grasp of the teachings. Very, very wise soul, and yet he can be playful too. Because if you remember, Master was like that too. With that time that he was in the room with Swamiji, and he told his assistant to turn out the light, and then all of a sudden he pulled out this little sparkling thing, and he was just laughing, and Swami was like, what's going on here? But that's us. If we get too caught up in the drama, we take it all too seriously, and we think it's real, but it's not. I think we know intellectually, the teachings tell us that when we leave this life and we go into the astral realms, we'll look back and we'll say, oh, that was the dream, and we thought it was so real. So we can't get captured by that, because it just makes us unhappy. That song from Come Gather Round, there's a line I just absolutely love. It's in your heart, the songs of joy resound. You'll hear but echoes in the world around. Wind on a hill sounds lonely if you're sad, free if you're free, cheerful if you're glad. So it's all the filter, or the color glasses that we're looking at life through. And circumstances are neutral. It's us that attach all these qualities: love, hate, joy, pleasure, dislike, all these things to them. So, as Ramana Maharshi said, the best course of action then is just to remain silent. And what I take that to mean is, if you ever had a chance to be with Swami Kriyananda, or even just take a picture of him, and you look into his eyes, and he was such a joyful soul, and he liked to joke and play pranks also, the way Master did, and but but there was always this deep calmness in his eyes. And he said that he had made a vow to never let anything disturb his inner peace. Now, those words have been really resounding with me in the last week or so, and I've been trying to remember that, because there is a lot of upheaval, and if we get caught in those moments, then we just get swung back and forth by the waves of life, by Maya, by illusion, and if we're able to remain calm and centered amidst the crash of breaking worlds, which, I mean, this is it. The worlds are. This is the time that Master was referring to when he said that, and he also said there will be heartbreak, and this is not an exact quote. There'll be heartbreak in every home. Now, I'm not trying to say these things to discourage everyone. I think all of us have had our share of that. Again, to quote one of Swami's songs, and I didn't write it down, so I wasn't thinking to quote it, but it just came to me. It's the non-blues. That life smiles back when you smile, looks sad when looks blue when you're blue, and then he says, and that blue shade I don't like at all. So the idea is to cultivate that inner calmness, that peace, not let anything disturb it. And we do this through meditation, through these spiritual practices. We have a huge toolbox, and any one of these techniques or actions, service, bhakti yoga, chanting and singing, and of course our meditation practices, as Master said, even a little practice of this yoga of this inner religion will free one from dire fears and colossal circumstances. So we just have to remember that is our compass point. That's our pole star. We want to keep coming back to that pole star. And I mean, yes, we get discouraged and we fail and we fall down and we pick ourselves up and we put some arnica on the bruises and we, waddle around until things have healed up a little bit, and then we go on. And we just try to surround ourselves with the right energy, whether it's music, with our friends, and doing everything possible we can to keep ourselves in a more open and conscious and awake state. So again, the only thing that our only real hope, you might say, is to have our daily meditation. And if you don't think you can meditate as long as you would like, it's okay. Just try to keep thinking of God during the day. See God in the flowers. See that divine consciousness in the driver next to you who's honking at you because you were too slow, or in the person that you work with who might be a little negative. Just try to always come back to that place of that let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. The circumstances are neutral, and it's our filter. The color glasses that we see, that we look through things. That's what determines how happy we are going to be in this life. God bless you. And now we'll have our offering, and Vinata and I have a beautiful song to sing for you.
So we'll have our offertory prayer. Please take what you would like to give, place it in your right hand, and repeat after me. Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
we offer to thee the fruit of our labors.
we offer to thee the fruit of our labors.
Bless this offering